So following on from the video and the activity with regards to owning your feelings, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as I like to call it, I mentioned in step 1 under the activities with regards to that we have different levels of feelings, so how strongly we feel something, but I also mentioned primary and secondary feelings. So I thought it's quite important to just give you an activity around this and just to explain in a little bit more detail what primary and secondary feelings are, because a lot of people, when they start becoming emotionally intelligent, they get a little bit confused with this one. Now, I mentioned before that when we feel angry, we tend to think that that is a primary feeling, and we think it's a primary feeling because it's the stronger feeling. It's got a very strong emotion attached to it. So when you're thinking about being angry, feeling angry, acting out in anger, it's such a strong feeling that you would think that it's the most important feeling, but it's not. It's a secondary feeling because the secondary feeling is created because of something else, something underneath, something underlying. And I think I mentioned before that most of our negative, or as I've said before, I don't like using that word negative, most of our uncomfortable feelings are generally secondary feelings because they come from another reason, an underlying cause. So I've given you an example here. So for instance, if you say to yourself, I am feeling depressed, that is a secondary feeling. Now, please remember, I'm not talking about clinical depression here. I'm saying about when you feel blue, when you feel down in the dumps. We often express that and say, oh, I feel a bit depressed today. I really feel blue. I'm just not feeling great. Now, that is a secondary feeling. The primary feeling may be because you're feeling lonely and you might have an unmet emotional need that you're not socializing, or you might have a desire for a partner. So can you see how you can trace it back? So when you're having this uncomfortable feeling of whether it's anger, frustration, depression, sadness, there's an underlying cause to it. Just like I've given you this example. So it's such a wonderful way when often we feel down in the dumps or we have these horrible, uncomfortable feelings and we think, oh, I can't do anything about it. It just is what it is and I need to accept it and I need to be that way, feel that way, live that way. And I'm going, no, you don't, because it comes down to an emotional need not being met. It comes down to you not living in line with your values. And so often it's really, really easy to fix, because when you fix the value, or should I say when you recognize the value that you're not living in line with, you recognize the need that's not being met. And when you address those, you can fix or correct or get rid of or change this uncomfortable feeling, because the minute you meet the need, that feeling goes away. And that's why for me it's so important that you always pay attention to the uncomfortable feelings, because those are the ones that are going to say, "Cooey, take a look here, something is wrong, let's fix it so we can feel better." It really is that simple. It really is that easy. And if you find that there isn't an emotional need that is not being met underneath. So what I'm saying is, if you find that the cause of what you're feeling is not related to your values or your emotional needs, then it could be something chemical. So this is a wonderful indicator for people to, it's like you can use it to eliminate. So if you've looked at all your emotional needs and you go, yes, I'm taking care of all of them, I'm living in line with my values, but yet I'm still feeling depressed, or I'm still feeling in a certain way, then you can look at the other factors. But always use this as a basis of finding out why your feelings are telling you that something is wrong. So use this as a go-to. Print this out, put it somewhere, because sometimes we forget about these wonderful tools we have. So put it as a reminder. okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I can do. This is a wonderful tool that you can use in your everyday life and that you can help other people with as well. Okay, so once you're ready, move on to the next step.